What?
Yeah, welcome to the Opinion Podcast. It's the 29th November 2024. It's almost the end of the year. Hunger is still ravaging the land of Nigeria. There's hunger everywhere. Governors are shouting. Everybody's making noise while things are happening in the land. The president is not watching. I don't know if he's watching or is not seeing what's happening. Nobody's talking about it. Good evening and welcome to the Opinion Podcast. We have an astute broadcast journalist in the house today, in the person of Adara Sydney Jack. She's going to be joining us to talk about various issues that burns in Nigeria today, especially female activism. When I thought I was going to be talking about female activism, so I was like, oh, wow. So you want to take us down this road. I don't know what's happening about this female activism thing. I think we'll come there, but before we go there, let's quickly delve into the issues that are happening in Nigeria. How Adora by my left, Adora Sydney Jack. You're welcome to the Opinion Podcast.
Thank you, Mr.
I know you shake this table today.
I forgot about that.
Aisha, you're welcome. You want to introduce us?
Thank you. And by my left, I have Oriloye. Nathaniel, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I think let's hit it running. Fisayo Soyombo, unlawfully detained in Port Harcourt. I don't know when you say unlawfully detained, what was he doing in the creek or where they were doing bunkering? He was arrested. And why would the news, the social media or traditional media is taking that he's unlawfully detained?
So first of all, we all know that he is a journalist. Mm-hmm. What else would a journalist be doing there? I think that's information.
A journalist could be involved in oil bunkering.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
that could be his private business now.
What was he doing at the point?
That could be his private business. The bunkering could be.
Perhaps he got hints of an information and decided he wanted to go and take first-hand coverage.
Police cover, at least.
But okay, so let's get something straight. He's an investigative journalist, and when an investigative journalist goes undercover on the ground, sometimes he wants to go unnoticed, uncommented. And perhaps because he's the founder of the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, and he's been known for holding.
Is he self-acclaimed founder?
No, he's not self-acclaimed. I mean, his stories are out there. And he's been known for holding government accountable, calling leadership to question, and exposing the elites.
Yes.
So he's had a fair running of, not being in good books of those people in power. And so I'm not putting this away from them because honestly, I mean, anybody could have gone to the oil. But I mean, as a journalist, you can go there to ask questions and the military will run into you. But then why won't you allow him access to his phones?
And then secondly, there's something again I want to actually buttress about this military thing in Nigeria. The military are supposed to be protecting the civilians. But sometimes we've seen cases where the military just, try to show that they are the god of the land instead of the protector of the civilians who put them there. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Because the civilians are the ones who are actually, responsible for the military guys. We are the one paying the tax. We are the one doing everything for the. So they should protect us.
The military are the guys that have been put in place of the civil defense that could have primarily responsible for
such theory. Yes,
but we should not blame it on the military yet because we don't know what happened. None of the situation at which they have met him and these guys.
The reason he was labeled.
Whether they were pumping for.
But we know our military.
He was sitting down asking questions.
We know our military. We know what our military they do.
He was sitting there asking questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody will arrest him.
Are you there?
I'm just saying.
Were you there?
I'm not. Oh, were you there?
Were you there?
No, were you there when he talks?
No,
we are talking about the scenario. How Nigerian military.
The guys, it was interviewing the guys, and the military came to catch them up. They wouldn't have arrested him. Maybe they were pumping oil, and they're like, you said,
he's a journalist. No, he's a journalist. The process of pumping oil and doing all those things will be recorded.
Absolutely.
In the process of him doing his job.
Unless the guys that are doing this bunking thing just wanted him to see.
Yeah, they want him to see. Of course, that's what he went there for.
Well, as an investigative journalist, they always, of course, they always.
Yeah, he went undercover. Definitely, he would go undercover because there had been an illegitimate.
Yes.
For me, you have to say whatever you want to say, but I don't think that we should push the blame to the military now at this point.
No, why I blame the military?
No, Afesi, we're not blaming the military.
Why? No, I blame the military.
There are fault lines.
I blame the military. Why I blame the military is why will they detain him for 3 days? before confirming who he is.
And then
Maybe they don't know him.
no, after they confiscated.
Oh, they don't know him for 3 days?
All his phones were taken, all his gadgets. He was not allowed access to anyone. The lawyers are not able to reach him. So, excuse
So
me,
how are we now aware that he has been arrested? Or?
of course, when somebody runs an organization, there are also people that work with him.
Yes,
And they'll be
definitely,
asking him,
yes.
and they'll be asking questions,
So-
and they will know at what
point and where he,
and there
which
will
is
be
why I keep
interaction.
saying he went for
You know?
work, because all his staffs are aware that he was at this place at this
Absolutely.
time, and he went missing from that place. So obviously he went for work.
Journalist, yeah? Did he go alone?
See, when you're doing
Who's going to hold the camera for him?
No, there are body cams. Come on, there are body cams. There are ways to get information without having people know that you are wearing a camera. But what
You
I'm
can
saying
even
is-
tell the militants that, yeah, you are wearing a camera on your...
Was he the
Yeah,
only
they
person
know.
arrested?
Of course, he's the only person that was arrested
That has been
that has
So
been
the
revealed.
accomplice.
How
How
to
about
involve
the
him?
accomplice? No, how about the accomplice? People that were really pumping it.
You can't say he's an accomplice. There's no accomplice yet. They have not been proven guilty.
Exactly. So I think we should wait to get information from the military.
But we
Oh,
are saying,
how
we
was
are
it?
saying that it is not a crime to be a journalist.
It is
No,
not.
actually,
He
it's
has
not
got,
a
yes,
journalist.
and the level and numbers of journalists that have been arrested between last year and this year are alarming. They are over 78, and some of them are still
78?
yes, and some of them are still in.
In Nigeria, the protesters have been arrested. You know how many protesters have been prosecuted
What
right
did they
now?
do wrong? I mean, if you say somebody published something that you're suing for libel and all that, person has a right to go to court. Person has a right of representation.
Why not hand him
Put
over
people in
to
cell
To the police.
to the
Allow
police
them.
and allow them carry their work, do their work, do their
It
investigation?
is clear that this is a call to the chief of army staff and the military spokesperson. I think you should look into this and see how we can get Kisara Shilombo out. The young people are angry. Don't let them put their causes and voices on you. The hunger that is ravaging the land. If Nigeria has put it on the military, people will not like it. People are doing so well. Gallant soldiers, I must say, but does not mean that people will take advantage of journalists.
Gallant soldiers that allowed terrorists jump into the
No,
country
they
like
are doing
frogs.
that. They are doing that.
And then our brother was.
in Niger. Those guys that invaded the land from Niger. How far was it?
They say they are handling it. They've been asked to crush them, according to the newly appointed chief of army staff, Oluyede. He asked them to crush these people. So they claim to be
Are
up
those guys
on their
still
game.
ground collecting ground rent from the indigens?
Well, they are still terrorizing most of these indigenous. Yes,
The military they have a rule of engagement.
1
Let's
million
not,
from public.
let's not forget something.
So you
Where
people are
get the money.
Aisha,
Why didn't the military
Aisha,
jump into that place?
Aisha, let's not forget. Oh, I have a wait, hold on. Let's not forget one thing. The military have a rule of engagement.
which is
They have their rule of engagement. Whatever they are doing, they take command and they know, okay, this is when to
They organize
strike
people, set
and
up
this
people.
is when not to strike. Now they are dealing with militants and civilians at the same time. The militants don't care about the civilians. They stay within the circle or within the environs of the civilians as well. So if the military wants to take action, they have to as well consider the civilians in that locality. Do you
Exactly. So
understand?
don't
So
have
it's really difficult for them to actually, come out and say we have crushed everybody, because among these militants too, you have the civilians, living with them.
But
So
if I
they have
may
to be
ask,
careful about whatever
these
they are doing.
militants or
Yeah.
these militias, how would they be charging civilians like them 1 million?
1 million naira.
Is that realistic?
collecting their livestock, their food,
Yeah, they
whatever
are
it is
wicked
they can
people.
lay hands on. They collect these things.
Wicked people don't care about whatever you feel. They don't care about what you are going
But I
through.
think
They just want to satisfy their
Just
own.
grant all of us AK-47 license to be hitting ourselves.
Then the country will just be in a.
Let's
And they're not for hunger, for hunger. People will kill.
They will kill themselves.
Anger for hunger.
Hashtag.
Anger for hunger. Oh yeah, a witness today also told the court that he collected $400,000 from Onifili. I don't know. Was he taken to the bank distributing? What Onifili buying with $400,000?
Emefiele is in serious trouble. Emefiele.
So Emefiele had this kind of money when Nigerians were cash drunk at that time. They were looking for money everywhere.
Emefiele is in serious. We all know the politics that
No,
happen during those times.
is this a true picture of what happened during his reign as CBN governor? Or is it that the Tinubu-led administration is dealing with him.
Obviously, the Tinubu-led administration dealing with him. Let's not just.
But Tinubu is still APC and
let's not.
But I don't think that Buhari supported Tinubu with all his heart or all his.
We can't say. We can't say. But what Emefiele did.
They are both APC.
Yeah.
Emefiele almost ran for president.
Yeah,
I saw his campaign vehicles everywhere.
I mean, we all know that every minute we would hear that he is inside with Buhari, and then they will come out and then they will announce a new decision. They announce decisions prior to elections every 2 days. Up until they announce the change of
the currency. Can you imagine? And we are still using the old naira till date.
Can you imagine?
It's obvious that. It is obvious that it was the president, is the president and Emefiele that are having issues. It is not.
No,
it's not our.
This is a personal fight.
In a way, because what pains me about these things here is that Emefiele is in it, and it's in deep and Buhari is in Daura enjoying his life.
Enjoying his life. So
Going
that's
to
how
the
you know.
Let's even get the perspective.
Okay.
We're talking about somebody who was said to have misappropriated $4.8 billion.
$4.
4.8 billion.
Billion naira. Now, this man, Mr. George Ayo, who is the former ICT director for CBN, was the give back man for kickbacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So accordingly, what was said and in investigation was that he was the one that was moving the money from himself to the PA and from the PA to Emefiele, and that in record he had given kickbacks of over $600,000 in terms of kickbacks from contractors
Back to Emefiele.
Emefiele.
Oh,
So
I
that's
see.
just one icing. That's just one icing on the cake, and then talk about the other things. So the question is, when you hear this one in this time of hunger,
You'll be like, in this country.
As in, I used to run crazy when I hear the kind of money.
that happens. They're like, in this country.
But I don't understand. What does he want to do with that kind of money, though? Now he's suffering for it. I see him carrying Bibles everywhere.
That very red big Bible. And I'm yet to understand the role that Bible plays. Why is he carrying Bible?
Exactly. Why is that people, after they do all of this?
We say God is merciful.
Then they come back to God.
We say God is merciful, but let's not forget one thing.
With the Bible,
Emefiele is suffering. Emefiele is actually suffering for what he did now.
what he did
I was
by himself,
yeah.
but what he did,
What he did to the powerful person. We all know the powerful person.
No,
What he
who was
did.
the powerful person?
First, we know the powerful
I don't
person.
know.
We
Please,
know
would you
the
want to
powerful
shed light?
person. The powerful person is the one ruling all of us in this country.
Who
Now.
was that?
We
Are you
know.
trying to say
After
the
God,
person?
it's about Ajo ruling you.
It might be
It's about
God.
Ajo ruling you.
It's God all over us.
The person ruling Nigeria is the one I'm concerned about right
You are
now.
afraid to call his name?
It's not
supposed to be your president.
It's not a must I call the name,
No,
but
I
we
tried
all
to
know.
say-
We all know the name of the powerful person. Sometimes we respect the powerful person by now.
Say that Tinubu is more powerful than God.
No, he's not powerful. Than
So
God.
then-
But in Nigeria, after
If you can
God,
call God's name, why won't you call Tinubu's name?
after God is Tinubu.
President Tinubu.
Yeah, in Nigeria.
So why you-
after
why you
God,
afraid? Why you-
after
why
God,
you don't call it-
I'm
why you
not.
not from Nigeria?
I'm not afraid. I'm only trying to respect the fact that he's my president.
He's my president as well.
And then I have the freedom to talk, but it's not guaranteed after my speech.
Freedom of
You
that speech is
understand?
not
After I
guaranteed.
talk now.
How then I die?
No,
if you say the truth,
You die.
die.
you die.
You know if you talk,
if you talk-
But we are still saying we are still going to say the truth. We will still say the truth.
That's Dino Melaye, right?
That was
I saw
Melaye.
him dancing some days back, talking about this governor.
Yeah, Bello.
I'm actually expecting Dino to be more on Tinubu. Those times he was doing Ajeku Yanyoje. I've not seen him. I've not seen any latest.
coming from money for government.
Which is true.
After Lutibati shared this.
Yes, now he said make Tinubu not dey or something. Then it bad dey not dey something. That is if Tinubu try to
Solve the problem of
to block his way, he will crush Tinubu. As at that time when he was a senator, and Tinubu
But
was.
they've adjourned this case for Emefiele to December 10th. So everybody is hopeful that something will come out of it, or they will keep adjourning.
But this
he can take-
is still doing this, right?
Yes.
This is still doing this.
Yes,
And
yes.
Yaya Bello was just taken in one day.
Correct.
And out the other
And
day.
giving bail the next day.
So
Was he even taking in?
different
He went in the evening.
No, he actually walked in. He casually walked in himself.
Yeah, he was taking them and he went in company of his friends, governors and...
Someone who's been arraigned for 110
fun.
billion and you are just casually walking
when
in.
Shomole was the national chairman of APC, he actually said that if you join us, you are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with them.
But
It's not-
Emefele is an APC member too now.
No, he will walk away free. I put it.
But Emefele is an APC member now.
No. Let me tell you something. Emefiele is an APC person, but they have problems going towards the election.
Yeah.
Because
The
you
same
don't
thing with
have-
Ayabelo as well. Ayabelo have problems with them going to
Yeah,
the election. They're different camps now. But this guy from Delta State that they arrested, have they bailed him? The former governor of Delta State.
Okoa.
Okowa. Is he still there?
He's not.
He's not there.
He just went in for questioning and he answered that.
But he slept there for some days though.
Well, he came out in a press conference and said he was not detained. It was not an arrest. It was a question and
And we were just trying to make peace with the FCC.
You know,
Maybe
and,
they
Now you have to make peace with
But
him. You know how...
please, let's come back to what Adora just said. That when you said Yahya Bello will walk out free, you really truly believe Yahya Bello will walk out free from this case?
the lion, the white lion, he will go white.
and
Nothing will happen.
disappear.
He will
And disappear.
Forest.
I'm telling you.
But we are laughing. We are laughing
It will
about.
be a
We are
slap
laughing.
on Nigerian's face.
It's
No,
comical,
seriously.
but it's shameful.
Aisha,
It is
Aisha,
very
it's
If they're
shameful.
taking them this long
it's-
to arrest him.
No, it's
Or if
comical.
they are taking them this long to question him. What are we talking about?
It's comical,
No, it
but
is
it's
shameful.
tragic. It's tragic because again, it just shows that people can just go rule for HS however long, exploit, explore, take money for the people.
No, but
taxpayers.
allegedly, though.
Allegedly.
I want to say something.
However, what it just does is that it gives a sense that power has immunity even within corruption.
Correct.
So it's bothersome because then what are the young people learning? And at the end of the day, you're saying, not too young to rot. And when they get into there, what are the principles of
What are the principles? They just follow suit.
honestly,
No, but if you leave people like Yaya Bello, you are left him for this long. Why are you disturbing your boys in the university? You go and post them in the night. You catch them, arrest them. What are you
Bust
looking
into
for?
people's houses.
Exactly.
You destroy
People that are
properties.
stealing our commonwealth. You're not arresting them.
It
Then these
is
guys
an
that are
aberration.
stealing about who are spelling our names anyway. You're arresting them. So I don't understand.
It's an aberration on the
Along the
FCC.
way.
Let me.
Well, they are all bad, but I just feel if Yahya Bello is let to walk out free from all of this, with all that Nigerians know at this point, then it is.
he's
He
Nigerian
hasn't been
anyway.
proven guilty.
No,
Thank
exactly.
you.
no, it's allegedly.
It's allegedly.
He's not guilty of anything.
If
He's not guilty.
He's
He's not guilty.
That's a good case.
He's not very
Why you want to arrest
He's
him?
not guilty.
Unless you want to say otherwise.
And he looked very happy.
Is that something you know that?
Yes, he was.
Back to your question about why EFCC.
He was.
You said something about why is EFCC going about young boys and then leaving people that are stealing from
Our commonwealth.
the state treasury. Now I see it this way: EFCC is an organization. Do you understand? In that organization, you have low staffs. That is the shop
Junior
floor,
staff,
the junior staff, the shop floor staffs. Then you have the administrative staff at the apex of things. When these people deal differently, the low cadre staff also wants to make money.
So the one's going for the Yahoo.
Do you understand? So you notice more of the low cadre staff going for the Yahoo boys.
So are they making money for
Then
the
the
Yahoo
big,
boys?
yeah, they are making so much money.
How?
They confiscate their property.
No,
they
I
don't
want
declare.
to know. Do you work in the EFCC? How do you know that it's the low ones that go for the Yahoo boys and the other ones?
because we see the videos of them arresting.
So how do you know that the
going
low
to-
ones?
You can see their rank on their shoulders. You can see the way they look. You can see if you say well.
So you don't think.
Yeah, if you see
This is you saying this based on.
based on my opinion, and what I see on social
I
media.
actually want to ask, you don't think they are going in with actually the permission of their superiors? You think they go by
They
themselves?
go in with the permission of the superior, but the superior doesn't really think of benefiting anything from those things because they also go for the governors as well.
Operations.
And they get more from the governor. The senior ones get more from the governors, while the
Why
junior
the
ones.
same cadet guys that go to arrest the Yahoo boys that still go ahead to arrest the big guys? The same guys.
The same guy, but the authority,
guy. I don't see anything
their function is quite different. When they go for the Yahoo boys, you see the way they go in, they jump, they do all those sort of things.
No, let me tell you.
But when they go for the governors,
No,
they go.
except the governor. Now, governor ain't find trouble, and they will go with the way they did to Rochas. I see they're going to catch a criminal.
Yeah.
That they don't know about.
But eventually, they didn't even do anything. They didn't do anything to
and
him.
broke everywhere. But you see, these young guys, I think that the FC just want to counter me. Anybody that don't have name, they will do you.
Yeah, they get more from those people.
You have a big name.
They don't just arrest those boys. You see cases now. You see people complaining now.
How would they want to arrest you? They will invite you first.
Yeah.
But if you don't have name, those schoolboys.
Which invitation? They will invite themselves.
The big guys will say that.
Yeah, they invite you. And
You know a Yablo that walked to the EFCC office by himself and walked out. So that's why they not see him. I'm about Kogi Juju strong.
Is it white lion?
Power.
The person that is doing that, Juju, Baba.
Maybe that was why he went to his village all this while and just disappeared, and now he's come back stronger.
He was not in his village.
So he's so.
Come back stronger.
Allegedly, he was in the government house.
I find that a bit weird. Come back stronger as what?
It obviously means he came back stronger. If he didn't come
as
back,
an alleged
how
thief.
would you walk into?
No, all the while, I would say that I was in government house.
As an alleged thief.
When the Kogi state governor went for a dual election, I said, this is the best time for EFCC to strike.
Yeah,
But they did not strike.
he did not.
So what I thought that they did was that they had made an arrangement to say, don't worry, I will come. Don't just put shame on me. Let me come myself. I'm sure they from other from Apo.
But we saw when they actually, where they
Yeah,
rounded up the house of the present governor of Kogi State and said Yahya Bello was inside. And then we saw them after.
There was unity in that house. I don't think they have never to do
So they were not able to get in, and they left. Yes, they left afterwards.
Because Rochas President was not governor again at that time. That was when they
When he went to hide in the ceiling.
Rochas was not hiding in the state.
No,
What was he doing?
The guy that came through.
But they told us he hid in the ceiling. Though.
But that case, people hear anything of that case again.
No.
What happened to the case? They
It's selected.
The former governor will go free because of the incident.
no, they will settle it politically. You know, all these issues are political.
Selected.
Which governor has ruled in
Justice,
Nigeria?
whatever.
Allegedly, there's not.
No one.
Well, I also thought at some point that Emefiele would never. I thought he wouldn't even get past a day in detention, and look at where he is now. So we never can tell.
He should just stop.
I'm sure
He should just
they will.
stop carrying that Bible.
That red Bible is, and
but-
then wearing that coat is making him look like something. We know nothing is wrong with
I'm not saying
you.
don't do God, but not now.
There's one thing.
You know what I mean?
There's one thing now.
You know, for God, God
you're
said that
escaping.
these two shall pass. You know them, Sambo Dasuki and the rest of them went through this when Buhari took over power at that time. So these two shall pass. So that's why he's believing the Bible. That let this pass, God see him through.
Amen.
Emefiele may not come out of this.
He must pass,
Too
Baba.
much money.
No, money they
And you know this
He
Mr.
may-
John
he may-
actually
he may
said
not- he may not-
he collected
he may not come out of it
$400,000 at
because-
once. It wasn't like he didn't go in trenches. It went at once. He collected an envelope from one certain was from someone I think in Lagos at Lekki or so, and took it directly to Emefiele. At
400.
once, $400,000. Imagine.
But I think there are some guys that work in Mayfield that they have to arrest as well.
Some of them-
And I know
Exactly.
some
Some of
big
them
guys
are
that
Basically, we
I say you know some big guys that work with
Nigeria,
Emefiele.
there are
You
so-
should actually
there
be
are so
calling
many-
names here. They should take all of them in and ask
There are
them
so many
questions.
leaks.
I remember when the
Emefiele, I'm your friend.
There are so
Walk with me.
there are so many leakages.
I mean, who wouldn't
There are
want
so
to take
many-
$400,000?
Exactly. Emefiele, I'm
You want
your
to chop
friend.
the money.
I'm his friend. Please.
There are so many leakages in our federal
For
treasury.
money.
There are so
You don't
many
need to chop anyone.
leakages. There are so many leakages that if we start looking at those leakages now, we won't forgive the administration of Nigeria, the leadership of Nigeria. We won't forgive them. It's not just about the president. You understand?
But
It's-
I still put to you that it's about the president.
It's-
And I'll
Because
tell
when he
you
was
why.
going,
Simple.
nobody should look for him. He has
Exactly.
gone to.
When I say it's not about the president, I don't mean the president is vindicated.
Emefiele now becomes.
I don't mean the president is
Yes.
vindicated.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is there are so many agencies in Nigeria that are headed by directors. And all these agencies, they get their allocation every year.
Who take governors get allocation?
Do you understand? On a monthly basis, they get. Do you understand? I was private to go through Superb because I had a friend who was just appointed. I really don't know about the state primary education board or something. I really don't know universal primary education board. I really don't know how they function. And this is a country. I'm a citizen of this country. If I had enjoyed,
I don't know.
if I had enjoyed anything from the state universal primary education board, I would know they exist. Do you understand? But I have never enjoyed anything from them. So I went and I researched what is about this organization, what is about this agency. And I saw how much the federal government has been,
pumping into
this agency for this long.
But and then you're enjoying it now because you're not enjoying
it. And then I look at the quality of education. Currently they get 6.6 billion grants from federal government.
Naira.
6.6 billion, naira.
And then we have the
federal. It's just an agency. It's just a minute agency.
That nobody looks at.
You understand? And now you're getting such amount. I mean, with 6.6 billion, the whole children that are from the low earning class should get structured education.
No, but you have to look at the numbers now. If you look at 6.6 billion to the numbers that we have out of school children, you will see that money will not be able to cater for them.
It is going to cater for them. If it is being spent,
if it is being spent judiciously.
Infrastructure and all that.
Do you understand? We are not talking. So the board is not to build infrastructure.
Okay.
You understand? You are not to build infrastructure.
So, but see, let me tell you something.
You are just to coordinate
everywhere in Nigeria. See, so as simple.
I'm using that small agency as an example now. Hold on. I'm using that agency as an example. That's just a minute agency. Do you understand? Now, count how many of them exist.
Now you don't say minute now. Now you still looking at it as minute.
Because I don't know it, and so many people don't even know it.
No, because you don't know, mean that it's minute now.
But so many people who don't know it.
I know it very well.
You know it very well because you are educated, and
Are you not educated?
I am educated. But I don't really pay. I'm not benefiting from it. I don't pay attention to most of those things because I don't benefit.
I think what Nathaniel is saying here is he only pays attention to things that benefit him.
From the country. Currently, I don't have to bother myself about so many other things again.
Because you don't want to bother yourself. See, let me tell you something. I was watching an interview this morning. And I think the guy was doing an interview from America. And he was saying that if he goes to the White House today, that if he visits Trump, if Trump was president, if Trump is going to feed him, Trump will feed him with his personal
money, yeah.
But if you come to Nigeria, the budget for feeding in Nigeria, the budget for buying alcohol or buying food in Nigeria
is the state government, yeah.
It's enough for a state to even run a yearly budget. Just to feed people. So we have to block these leakages. You want to.
Those are the leakages.
And this brings me to Governor Zulu. He says that we won't pay salaries in the north if tax reform bill is passed. This tax reform bill that was being introduced by the president, if it is passed, the northerners are going to suffer for it. And it is the governor coming out to say that they will not be eaten if the reform bill is passed.
With all due respect, what manner of where is that coming from? I mean, why would you just come up and say things? You just say things anyhow, forgetting that.
No, Aisha.
But it's sitting governor. It's facing reality.
Aisha, taxation.
Is it really facing reality?
Taxation is not just a common thing.
Governor Zulu is one of the governors that's really working hard for his people.
Taxation.
Unless you are from a state and it's not doing anything, you want to say?
No comment, Afe.
Oh, okay, you're from a state. No, don't just things like this. It's just popo.
I really don't know. I don't know the things you think he has been doing. I haven't seen
our governors are not doing anything.
I don't know the things you think he's doing or he has been doing.
Our governors are not doing anything.
No, for instance, so are you sure he's not supposed to come out like this to speak?
I don't think he should come out like this to speak. That's a state that has been brought down to, in fact, to nothing.
But that, I think I would say that was hit by erosion, yeah?
Yes, by flood.
But I don't think that it's not the one that caused the flood now.
Well, nobody said he.
Does anybody cause flood? What are you saying there? Does anybody cause flood?
The state has gone down. It's not the one that made that happen. That's a natural disaster.
There are other insecurity issues we could actually also look at.
Before him?
Yes, before him, and even while he's sitting there. I feel you know better.
Whose side are you? I don't really understand. Whose side are you?
On this table here, I'm everywhere.
Okay, see,
I can speak from any angle I like.
Because I don't
see the argument on this tax reform is that the Northerners feel that it should be brought back to the table. Let there be a review. Governors forum feel there should be a conversation. Now, Northerners have said...
But I'm sure there's going to be a public hearing about it.
Yes, but they are saying that even before it got to second reading, that one, the fact is that we had a PIB bill that took over 20 years in making and in passage, and there was a go back, come back, go back. Now, what is it that is so needed that there has to be so much speed for this tax reform bill to be passed in such a rush? That if several oppositions have been made, the thing for the president to do, because he said, that Zulum also said, that even the president knows he got 60% of his votes from the north. And so he should be able to give...
Those votes are
Yes.
human beings.
Well, I don't know if you ask me.
I don't ask it. Because I was talking to somebody the other day and he said that 2027 will be worse than 2023.
Basically, it will be worse. We are not even expecting an election.
I don't vote from humans. So.
We are not expecting an election. We are just expecting an appointment.
It's the election or selection.
An appointment.
National just said we don't expect an election.
We are not expecting an election. We are expecting an appointment. We are expecting a reappointment.
No, even with this
wow.
issue of no opposition.
A presidential reappointment.
This
Like a
issue
one
of no
party.
opposition, how will this be even deal? The president of our hearts, Wike is sitting on it, killing the PDP.
No, maybe Wike will come out as presidential candidate.
PDP,
vice
Wike
president.
will not
Vice
run
president.
against President Tinubu. I don't think he will want to do that.
Really?
He don't want to run against the finger that is
He will never
Are you
ever do
sure?
that.
with all this protection.
But it's politics. Politics is about interest. It's about interest.
No,
When ambition meets...
Tinubu is in power today. That's why you have Wike around Tinubu.
I think we will go for 2031.
Afe.
2031.
Afe.
After
Afe.
And do you think
Afe.
he would win?
Come as VP.
Afe, hold on now.
Any northerner or any politician that won't believe or think that Wike can work with him, I pity for him. Wike is not like that.
It's just about interest. Wike is about interest.
Somebody that cannot keep secrets.
Wike is about
And somebody that
interest.
cannot keep his integrity straight.
You know.
He's the one that said
Yes.
that APC was cancer.
Yes.
And is working with the APC today.
Yes.
That he wants to...
Today he has even brought down PDP.
He's killing PDP
He
to
has,
throw APC.
he has killed PDP. because
like Isaac
normally
Farage said.
Wike should be one of the most
If
powerful.
you know you're a strong man, the camp.
Go and
Then
stay
you will be
PDP.
valueless.
Stay PDP.
Because
Stay
he's
in
going
your
to be valueless. If
PDP.
he
Yes.
the camps, he will be nobody.
Stay in your
Because
PDP.
the problem is
you know,
causing the PDP.
for your
That's why
pride, for
they
your.
are even looking at him at this point.
I mean, this was someone that came out at every given opportunity to insult APC. Every
All the
time.
time. I'm surprised.
All the time. I was really surprised.
That's why it's about interest.
Guys are surprising me. I'm really shocked. You know why? Because we all know that politics is
It's
about
about
interest.
No,
permanent
What is
friends.
it for me for
permanent.
now?
Adora.
How do I make it happen?
Happen, yes.
Adora, listen, not that we don't know. Not with somebody that says he has too much integrity.
Yes.
That's the disappointment. Or that is where we are getting it wrong.
Well,
Which is
See,
even that
see,
is to
I
say
don't-
that
I don't
I
see-
have integrity.
No, I don't-
having integrity,
I don't
having
see-
integrity as a Nigerian politician
No,
is just
he-
like
I don't see-
it's just like
I
a
don't
prostitute
see-
saying she's a virgin.
I don't see. And
Do you understand?
Men to say
Is
they are
it possible?
virgins. I don't see. I don't see.
What did you say? What did you say?
The switch in that. The switch in
I
that.
don't see integrity in politics. I see intentionality. My own now. What can I get?
It's all man for himself.
They said was doing it for the South. It's for the Southern
wow.
agenda.
Okay.
And now the Southern agenda, all the governors that went through this G5 thing with him is the only one that is enjoying it. Is this the Southern agenda?
Wike is really enjoying it. Wike is really enjoying himself. Wike is having fun.
see,
What will be
if we run from that, yeah, I saw the governors firing back at Wike for allocation stoppage. What does Wike have to do with allocation stoppage, though?
Wike has nothing to do with allocation stuff. I don't know why his
Why
name is being
fine,
mentioned.
but-
This,
they feel he has influenced this.
because it's close to the president
I don't think
doesn't mean
that-
anything. The president should be wise enough to know what he's
I don't
doing.
think that Fubara should even go that low. We're talking about Wike and allocation. You are making
But
Wike
basically-
so powerful. You are making-
Basically, President
It's not up to
Tinubu.
that one.
I think President Tinubu experienced this with Obasanjo.
I think this is a different scenario, though.
It's a different
Yeah,
scenario.
it's a very different scenario because at the time, Tinubu
Is it not
was
related to
experiencing-
the
No, but that-
local government election they just
yeah,
concluded?
Local government election, but this is
That was what happened in Lagos as well.
an election. This is about a fight between a godfather and a godson.
Okay.
And Tinubu at that time did not have a godfather. Tinubu was his own godfather.
Yeah.
At that time, and he had a lot of revenue coming in from Lagos State. And
Yeah.
those revenues took care of Lagos without federal allocation. And I think that's how all states should have been. If you cannot
Basically.
function with your own internally generated resources, then you should not be a state.
And meanwhile, no, don't. You won't just go that direction of if you cannot function with your own.
Exactly, you're intended to be able to take care of you.
No, that's not the way the
If
state was
there was
created.
no egg to share, at the
This
national
federalism,
level,
this
if there was
federalism.
no food to share at the national level, what will you say?
There must
If
be
they say-
food.
If they say all man for himself,
There must be food.
What will you do?
There must be food. That's federalism for you. There
if they
must
say
be
all man for
food.
himself, what will you
It
do?
is not possible.
Okay, how did Tinubu do it in 1999?
During Tinubu's time, I believe
IGR, how did you do with
it's about a fight between Tinubu and the president at that time. The same way it is happening now.
Well, a lot of enough of all
And
this
then-
political brutality that is hitting us here and there. Hunger in the land, slavery, killing, insecurity. I think the government should do something about it.
Who is the government?
What do you mean? What do you mean? who is
Mention
the
their
government?
names.
The federal government.
Mention their names. You make me mention names. You don't want to mention names.
No, Baba, you didn't
Mention their names. Who are the people?
Who's in government?
The people.
The president of Nigeria.
Yeah, call the president.
See
Call
how-
your
I
governor.
can-
I learned your governor was even. Call them. Call their names.
Who are you talking about? Who's the governor?
Who's
I don't even know the state governor. Edo State. Are you not from Edo State
I
again?
don't see.
Are you not from Edo State
I'm not
again?
sure the governor we have now. Whether it's just one or whether there's no. Because some people said there was no election.
Okay.
And there was an election. I don't know the governor we have now.
We have to start.
The governor that we have now, I think, is doing well. He went to a commission.
Okay.
The first commissioning was the commissioner of a boutique.
Wow.
They got into commission the boutique and says that, that's a good project.
Oh,
The
boy.
boutique has-
No, but seriously, I feel on a more serious note, it amuses me how these political leaders come out, play dirty, roll themselves in the mud, still come back and then
regain the position.
campaign again, and you see people coming out to vote. At what point do we stand up and say we're done with all of you? You guys are just jokers.
Nigerians are not ready.
Why do
Nigerian, are you ready?
why do you say
I'm
that?
ready. I think listen, let me tell you something.
Why do you say Nigeria?
I want to know when Nigerians will be. What do you think it takes for a Nigerian to be ready?
Nigerians can never be ready because they put them in hunger. Yeah, when election is coming, they bring some more food for them, and they feel that that's what will take them for another
That is
4.
that is the problem. That's just
So
That-
will that
that-
5
it's
kg
not
or 1
about-
kg
that-
rice?
Oh, that rice at that time is God sent.
when you say Nigerians are not ready. When you say Nigerians are not ready.
Because I don't understand.
You make me
I don't-
feel.
Listen, let me tell you
You
something.
make me feel. You make me feel Nigerians are lazy and not interested in changing their situation.
Well, there was a point
That's the way I
President
see it.
Buhari called us lazy youths.
That's the way I see it.
Former president.
Nigerians are ready, but Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are poor. Nigerians are hungry.
See, let me tell you something. With all we went through with Buhari, people still voted for APC in this country. You don't understand. How would you think that an APC will get 3 million votes from the north when they are most ravaged by hunger? But they got more votes from the north.
I will make
So are those people ready?
I'll make a
Are you
very
ready to change?
I'll make a very simple
I don't know
illustration.
if they are ghost voters or real human beings.
I'll make a simple illustration about
You actually said it. You asked if they were
Even
robots.
in the south, in Lagos, why would APC get food in Lagos? Was there no hunger in Lagos?
There was hunger in Lagos.
Now,
I put it to you here.
Base-
Wait, I put it to you here on this table today. That come 2027, the APC will still get votes.
sure they
So who
will.
are the people that are voting for them?
Because the same scenario that is causing it is still
Are they going
existing.
to a different market?
But I hear there is a
Are they traveling on a different road?
competition of new parties.
Oh God, I you don't understand this thing.
People
There's a
see the
scenario.
consensus to form new party alliances. Some of the northern elite, some of those who
I
from the.
heard
you know,
there might
the-
be a call for good luck to come back as president.
there's so many palpitations. So 2027 maybe.
Just like Trump came back, Abi.
No, but anything that was
They want to test the PDP.
January, yeah.
Okay.
2025. I think electionary process would have started.
But
The glass balls would start. Like,
basically, anyone who wants to be president should be president. I don't care.
yeah, enough
Whether they're coming back
of
or
this.
not.
What's this thing about this activism about gender equality, genderism, or I don't understand. What's happening to the women
You sound like I see
what's
you are
happening
in
to the
women.
women? What's happening to the women that is not happening to the men? Or is this activism for gender? Is it just for women or is for men and women?
You see,
Because I think, as you see in all of this, I think men go
if not that we had Adora here, I would have just said we should forget about this.
Why
This gender thing.
this, yeah.
would
Because-
you forget about this?
Because
See, Nathaniel, thank you so much for saying that. And thank you for having the conversation, because
Okay.
this is why we need men in this space to really have these conversations. Because whether we like it or not, we have issues that border on gender-based violence. It may
Yeah.
not have happened to you.
and men are going through a lot.
Which one? You ask me first now whether it happened to me.
Men are going through a lot because of this gender
Please give
based.
us the room, Adora. Has it happened to you?
No, I don't know the things that happens to men.
One out of 4 girls, adolescent girls, are abused.
I was abused when I was young.
And 1 out of 4 adolescent boys.
I like it.
You like
this?
That does not mean that we should enable perpetrators. You know, you're a queer kind, so we need to feel on you out. Of
course.
I think this calls for mental evaluation.
Mental evaluation.
Okay,
Because no one, you should
Not the way, but we may need to just have to have a counsel.
a counsel.
That's so that his body will now work with his brain or
what you
something. I don't
What you
understand.
actually
His
enjoyed
body,
about
is his
it.
body working against his brain?
I don't know.
No, but no, let's go straight. Yeah. What's it about?
What's it about?
Okay, see, sincerely speaking, really,
I know Adora has a
we're
lot.
doing 16 days of activism, right? And that 16 days of activism is looking at gender-based violence. And the theme for this year is unite, invest to prevent gender-based violence. And for me, like I say, currency of voice is an investment. We can go
But then
Which of the gender? I want to be sure.
women and young girls. And
No,
just
what about
women,
men?
this particular one,
No,
it
but
says
people should focus on
we
men
are,
as
we
well.
are looking at the rate.
I think
of
men are even going through
we are
these things.
focusing on the men.
I want to say,
but we
Adora.
are focusing on the men as part of the
Okay.
allies to be able to look at the issues, because the issue of femicide is on the increase.
Okay.
And femicide means, the killing of the mother of a female,
Yeah, okay.
either by intimate partner or by family
By family,
backgrounds.
okay.
Okay. There is this story of a young girl in Borno State, I don't know if you heard about it, who was killed by her uncle in cold blood early in the morning. He threatened her. He said he was going to kill her. And they saw him digging the grave, and nobody stopped him. So it also shows that there is a society of, agreement to the body language of men being aggressive to young girls, especially up north. But it is a general case. Okay. We know that, yes, men are in the space where they talk about abuse, but the people who are the minority women have a larger case of issues concerning gender-based violence. And gender-based violence doesn't just mean physical. It means verbal, it means emotional, it means cyber stalking. It also means economic exclusion. Okay. And I think that for us, what we should be focusing on now is to be able to create literacy on what does it mean for a Nigerian girl? What does it mean for a Nigerian boy? When you hear gender-based violence, how do I come in? What do I talk about? How do I prevent it? It is not a case about men versus women. It's a collaboration of efforts. And that's for me.
Adora, I want to come in here. It's not a case of men versus women.
Yes.
But from all you have said, the gender-based violence, it's about women and young girls. Do you understand? Now, I want to say this. There's nobody who has monopoly to violence.
Oh, no.
True. As a man, you shouldn't hit a woman. As a woman, you shouldn't hit a child. Sorry, a man. Okay. As an adult, you shouldn't hit a child. And as a child, you shouldn't hit an adult. These are principles that we need to emphasize.
That should guide.
Do you understand? All that are making it look like a woman should not be hit or should not be slapped. Do you understand? Instead of seeing it from that perspective, it should be nobody should hit nobody. Nobody should insult nobody. People should respect themselves. Respect your child. Let your child respect you. Respect your wife or your spouse. Let your spouse respect you.
Nathaniel, let me come in here, please. Give me a minute. Adora, what Nathaniel is saying right now is actually very important, because we've had cases of where women would continue to provoke a man, hit him, throw aggressive words at him, insult him,
exactly.
throw tantrums,
Thank you, Aisha.
At the point he finally
with me on this.
breaks and perhaps reacts, and violently reacts, everybody will say, but you're a man now.
That is
You should have been stronger. You've just showed yourself, you poised as a weak person now for hitting this woman. What about all those times that she actually abused him? What about all those times? Sometimes we don't, it's not only the violence we talk about, it's not just physical. Exactly. We have mental abuse and all these things. Also, women, I think aside from doing gender or female activism here, we should also actually advise these women that the brain also has a limit of what it can take. A human being has limit it can get to, and it will break, or he or she will break.
And I totally see what you're saying. Yet again, I would like to say that your mental health is your first safe space for both men and women.
So you think it's a choice?
I think that the moment you feel aggression towards you, the moment you feel, even in normal life, when somebody is coming at you with something, two things happen. You either defend yourself or move away. All right? So I don't think there is any excuse for violence. There's no rationality to lift a hand against another human being, whether male or female. I feel that to preserve your sanity, first of all, and your self-value. The moment that becomes aggressive, that threatens your peace, your space, your timeline, you need to move yourself from that environment and move away. And I think that's always my biggest advice. I mean, don't wait to exchange words or give the person silent treatment and the person, because the more you are in that same space.
So what your advice now is move away from a marriage that is becoming violent.
Move away from the immediate
situation.
Threat. Because that person, whether male or female,
moving away really.
No, you move away from one being caused to react, which sometimes when you react, you can cause death. Because there are some people that when you lay just one hand, they are dead. And you would respond to shock of having caused that incident because you were not going to expect that kind of outcome. So rather than put yourself in that space of, oh, I didn't mean that, move away from that. And then for the women, I think it's both spaces. But what I'm trying to say is that...
So what are you actually doing now to incorporate the men into this gender thing? That's my own...
That's what... I mean, you're having this conversation with me as part of incorporation. Having this conversation on...
I would want to ask some questions.
Let me finish with you. It's part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I think for me, the biggest, center for fallback is going back to the family. I feel that, for instance, let me give an example. We were going to go on a live program 2 days ago, and it was talking about women's participation in governance and gender equality. And, somebody sent the flyer of the program, and I just did a small broadcast to, certain people I know that had voices. And this very big elite, this very important personality, a man, very big up there, sent me a message and said, "You agent of darkness, you are too late."
Oh, wow.
Now, when somebody responds to you like that, the person is lectured, is educated, he's up there, he's a policymaker, he's in government, he controls power.
Don't want to call him out.
No, not yet. And he comes at you like that. And you pose a question and say, sorry, was that message meant for me? He goes ahead to block you. And then you put a phone call and say, you people who think you'll be deceiving our women, it's ranting. So, again, I sense somebody who is going through something. I don't know.
That man with a bit woman.
I don't. Do you understand? So I'm thinking that aggression.
Perhaps he had an issue with his wife and she quoted you.
No issue.
Maybe you were quoted.
Maybe the wife quoted.
Yes, perhaps you were quoted.
For you to express that aggression at me, I'm a stranger. I don't have any relationship with you. Imagine what if a daughter had that conversation to say that I want to run for office or something.
Adora, I want to say something. For that man to call you, That's your program. You must have said something. I know you.
No.
You must have said something.
Pre-program.
That's before the program.
Promoting the
program.
That's why I'm saying she must have been quoted.
Like me, you see this feminine, this gender, whatever stuff. To me, somehow
it's not whatever.
Africans are blowing this thing out of proportion.
No, I don't know whether they're blowing it.
Africans are blowing it out of proportion.
I don't think it's stopping me, yo. It's not disturbing me.
Are you sure it is not?
No, it can't disturb me. I like it when you have that kind of competition. But where I have a problem is, why don't women support women?
Women support women.
Yes,
but
I would take they don't.
But he's answered you. But they do.
See, women. No, I will tell you why. Women support women with mouth.
Are you sure?
You mentioned economic exclusion.
Okay.
And political exclusion.
Okay.
When women tend to run for political office, when you have women in the party, why don't the women in the party support the women to emerge. Where has it ever happened that you see that, oh, now women vote for all these women? Now women vote for this one. So now make them be like that.
Actually, politically, you shouldn't expect that.
No, why? No, but women should support women because
You mean
this
at the main election?
Do you know why?
No,
Yeah.
because there are two stages.
No, from
Is it at the
from
main election
primaries?
or
Do
from
you
the
know
primaries?
why, Adora? Let me tell you something. Do
But you
why?
know you have to deal with delegates during primaries.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are women. There are women delegates.
No,
as well.
listen.
And women delegates will
The
not vote.
majority of the delegates you get
for women to
are illiterate.
listen in Nigeria, yeah, for women to start behaving or talking on the table, you need that political process.
True.
For you,
Which is why we're asking for extra
I don't have anything about your advocacy and whatever it is. But which women will support the women to get women to sit on that extra seat?
Basically, they don't need women to support women to get on the seat.
No, you need women to support women first.
Of course. I mean,
You don't start from the charity.
It's just like saying men should vote for men.
First. No, listen. Let the women first be emotional about themselves and say, oh,
I believe they
the
are.
women fight.
Let me give you an example.
I'm lost in all of this. What do you mean women do not
Support women, exactly.
I'm truly lost.
Because men know women. Women, they do support. They don't support men. They
Let me
support
tell you something.
women.
In the last
Women support
APC
women.
primary election, there was a woman that contested for president.
Okay.
How many votes did she get? There are women delegates in the hall.
Are you talking about Sarah Jibril?
Why didn't this
Sarah
woman,
Jibril.
why didn't this woman win Trump?
Governorship.
For Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala
Harris.
Why did
That
why
one safe.
why didn't she win? Why
in
didn't she
America,
win?
that's
Trump?
civilized.
That's a civilized country.
If it was in Nigeria, that woman contested against a man,
Yeah.
she know get 10,000 votes.
That is to tell you.
Men they contest, so they get 10,000 votes. Look at
That is.
he contest, don't get.
Why did you want to
No.
use the name, bro?
No, I don't want anybody to ask me why don't I contested more than 5 times. And
He should keep on
see,
contesting.
if they have not gotten up to 10,000 votes, then
Yeah, he should keep on. Buhari experienced that. Buhari was.
And you see somebody that show coming to abuse Peter Obi.
No, but bringing you back to the major.
I think women should support women more. Yeah, women.
Okay.
And listen, I'll tell you another. I'll give you another example. If you see a girl child that is molested, she will tell you that I cannot report to my mom. My mom will beat me.
Why? Not in all cases.
In most cases, they would rather go and tell somebody outside, or somebody outside that will witness and say, "Oh, this is what happened." I've seen these things. There was one story I heard about in Gwagwalada that a 10-year-old boy used to carry one 7-year-old girl to an abandoned building to sleep with her.
Okay.
They asked the girl, "Why didn't you report to anybody? Why didn't you shout?" He said, "If she tells her mom will beat her."
And this is a
Yeah,
case of
I
women
think-
not
I
supporting
think
women.
it's
This is
not
just a case of
Women
parental.
understanding women. Women understanding women not supporting women.
When a child comes to you, whether male or female, and comes to the mom and said, I won't tell my mom will beat me. I think it's a case of not just Nigeria, Africans being unconsciously, ignorantly moral.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we put morality before literacy. And we don't want to get knowledge, we don't want to get exposure and understand certain things and, put family first before brand, before name, before, the family dynasty. So it's all about, what will people say? How will they see it? What will happen to my child? Did she get married? All of that. So that happens a lot. But for me, I still go back to the fact that, you talking about women supporting women, elections and politics. Our politics is highly...
This is because we need to bring women to the table.
Yes, but our politics is highly, first of all, you have just talked about the issue of PDP, APC, the men at the helm, the relativity of power versus interest. But I think that, our politics is highly masculine. There's patriarchy.
Highly.
Whether you like it or not. It has been like that since with time immemorial. I feel that for us to even break even when women support women, when the die is cast, when you come to the lowest, it is always about the highest bidder. It's always about money versus interest.
So women cannot say they will not collect money and they do the right
No,
thing.
not about that.
Because
So,
I think there are more
again, let's
women
go
out
back
there
to
that won't vote.
No, so let's
There are more women
do
out there that
quota.
vote.
Let's do quota.
Basically.
Let's do extra
Basic.
seats. Let's get quota. So because when you have quota,
So that one come cheap now. Let them
you
vote.
have legislation that will now say at least certain percentage of women.
You
will
even need
get-
women
should
to
get
take that kind of
on
position
seat.
because these men.
But there are no women
It's just a
in
man that will not talk to you. The man that you posted something that was shouting now. That kind of man might be in the parliament, for instance. Just imagine we carry this kind of bill to say you want to do quota and the House of Reps.
That's why they threw out the 5 gender bills in the first place.
Yeah.
Last-
You see, so
in 2022.
how do we
But
see?
we have to
should
still
start
go
the
through
conversation
quota.
from how do we get women to sit on the table? I think that's where we'll start.
That's where we should start from.
Then the advocacy cannot start from there. I don't mind you advocating for whatever you want to advocate for now. But how do you get women to sit on the table?
I think for me, charity begins at home. Let's go back to the basics. Community.
But that's what I said. Charity begins at home.
Get families
how do
involved.
you get women to support
communities
women?
Involved. Get more women in the local, because that's where the voting starts from.
Exactly. How do you get them to support women? To support this race?
It starts from education. It starts.
So you are a woman agenda vocalist or player. How are you looking to do all of this?
Yeah, because we're taking it back down to the community, and it's part of what we are doing. And again, one of the things we said was that, you cannot work in isolation, no matter how you think about it. Community is the final decision where, voting happens, leadership is decided, interests are made, even crises are decided, and who works in those crises, who works in different camps. So I feel that taking these conversations back, like, what we are saying, and domesticating it. How are we having these kinds of town halls in the market, with people at the rural level? Because last, and then we'll vote, And then secondly, again, is to look at the power broken in families, its circle, where we say, Junior will have to watch football and Ada would cook and then she'll plate the food and Junior would eat and Ada will wash the plate. I think that there should be a sense of responsibility for both male and female. Well, every gender feels responsible together, not just based on sexes, so that the power broken is not based on X and Y chromosome. And I think that for me, that's basic, because I can't imagine, I have two brothers and they cook, they're fantastic cooks. They're homemakers in their own right.
As a woman, you shouldn't be cooking.
Because they were raised by a mom who thought that, we are all human beings and owe each other responsibility.
You see the problem I have with this gender?
There's nothing bad in it.
Yeah, but the moment you say
basically,
you
this
cannot
is
cook,
it.
only the girls can cook.
Adora.
It now means that you segregate.
Adora, that's not true. Adora, that's not true. I will not agree with that.
No, some people do that though.
I will not agree with that. I will not agree with that. I will not agree with that.
Okay.
This is Africa. This is Africa.
And
So
Africa
you
means
mean that
Monday.
I'm coming now. Let me talk. Let me.
I really want to hear what you
Let me
I
say
don't think I'll
this.
come with you on this one.
It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. It's my opinion.
Don't embarrass.
It's my opinion. It's my opinion. I will speak.
Agenda.
I will speak. We are humans. Men are humans. We are not wood. We are not
What exactly?
We are not wood.
What exactly are you saying?
We are humans.
So
We labor so hard. We work so hard to make sure that we cater for our women. Do you understand? And at doing that, we deserve a level of appreciation from the woman.
really?
But let him land. I want to listen to him. I said this guy won't embarrass our agenda.
We deserve a level of appreciation from our women.
I wish I had a bell.
Especially the one that has a man who is actually catering and doing the needful for her. Do you understand? I'm talking about those men that are doing the right thing, not the ones that are just fooling around, and the men that are doing the right thing, taking care of their homes. Do you understand? They deserve such appreciation from women. Now, I started by saying this is Africa. Do you understand? We have our traditions. We have things we have learned. I'm coming now. No. There is nothing like a slave. I did not mention anything.
I don't know if that's where you're driving to.
I am not driving anywhere. What I am saying is simple. Woman in Africa has a place. She should learn that place.
That is impossible.
What's that place? Wait, what's the master?
Foul.
What is the
What do you
place?
want?
What do you mean that a woman has a place?
That's why I said,
Africa, she
that
should
is
learn
why-
that place.
What
That is
woman's
sexist.
place?
That is misogynistic. That is absolute.
The other room.
I don't
What's the woman's place?
understand.
The woman has a place in Africa.
What is the
woman's
place?
The woman's place is the home.
You see this guy?
Is
The
it
woman's
home?
place is to take care of the home.
I said this guy will embarrass our agenda.
Do you know how many women? Nathaniel.
Can you imagine? You are telling me I'm embarrassing your own gender because I'm saying a man should be respected.
Nobody say that the man
Your
is
opinion is not my opinion.
Because a man should be
You are
respected.
not
I'm saying a man should be respected. You are saying,
Somebody has
You
said
said
it.
a
oh,
woman
After you are
should know-
disappointing our agenda.
You're saying
After
that
you have disappointed our
you're saying that
agenda.
a woman should be ridiculed based on
Exactly.
I did not use the word ridicule. You are the one using the word
No,
ridicule.
Spell it out.
No,
I
spell
said-
it out.
spell
A
out.
woman
Spell it
should
out.
know
Spell
how
what
to
out?
Where's the
You are putting words in my
Where is
mouth.
woman's place,
Oh, dear.
Oga?
Nathaniel, let's
Human's place is a home. It's in the
Oh,
home.
really?
No,
Oh, really?
no.
Human's
Where
place
is their
is in the home in
appreciation?
Africa.
So
please.
wait. I don't
Human's
understand.
place is in the home in
Where your wife
Africa.
work?
Oh, please.
If I have the opportunity, my wife will not do anything.
Oh,
She will just take care of my kids.
Wahala.
She will take care of my
Wow,
kids. She will
wow,
live.
wow.
She will live a comfortable life.
No.
Yes,
like,
and you have no voice.
women should be free to
obviously.
walk and
boys-
go back.
Nathaniel,
Those are children. That's the voice the
She will
woman
be
needs.
No, seriously.
What voice does she need?
Do you realize
What
what
voice
you're
does your wife
saying now?
need?
What
is
voice
saying-
does she need?
Every voice.
To do what?
For that, I brought you here that we should talk better things, not so come on.
Mayday, mayday,
I
mayday.
thought that.
Mayday.
No, seriously.
We have been
And
so-
more
so-
serious now.
So saying that
voice
women
that
should
says
respect their place.
Women should
no,
stay.
it's a bad
in
thing.
What do you mean their
They have-
place?
Women have no place.
To be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
A
think
woman
No,
has no voice.
all right, give me a minute. You're saying,
When we say a place,
Nathaniel,
when we say a
what
place-
you're saying is a woman
when we
should be
say-
kept in a corner.
No, not a corner.
What did you just
When we say a
just
place,
saying?
when we say a place, it entails a lot of things.
What
Like
place?
what?
Okay,
The
explain.
place entails her character. It entails what she needs to be doing. It entails how she.
Are there specific things for a woman to do in the house?
Yeah, there are.
That
Like
there's
what?
a place.
As
To
Africans.
cook.
Yes, as you, not say Africans. We are all Africans. So just
To wash
stick
your
to you.
clothes,
Just stick to your own
to-
opinion.
As Africans.
We are all
Because you are
Africans.
There's a tradition. There's a tradition we
Because you are bringing
inherited.
food.
You inherited the tradition, and
There's
so
a
the
tradition-
tradition
there's a
because you
tradition we
inherited.
I don't believe in that tradition.
There's
You
a tradition we
inherited the
inherited.
tradition
Please,
centuries
I-
ago.
And the tradition is for women to respect men in Africa.
No, hold on. We'll leave now.
They should respect men in Africa. That's it.
I want to go.
We are not white.
Women do not respect
And we're
men.
having issues.
Aisha, you're a Muslim
Yes.
and you're a Christian, Adara.
Okay.
I'm a believer.
Yeah. What does religion have to do with women on the top and women not on the top? I don't know if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Does religion affect
Okay.
women?
You are going somewhere. And you don't agree with me. Now you're talking about
in the
religion.
north, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting it wrong.
Okay.
I don't think women dominate in any way. Do they allow women to lead prayers, for instance?
Okay.
No.
Why?
Why?
They also don't allow women break kola nut.
Why?
So that is exactly the conversation.
That's what
Yeah.
Okay.
So I brought in
What's full of religion?
I brought in tradition.
I want to hear your opinion on what the question you have asked. I want to hear your own opinion.
No,
Your own opinion on this same question.
You see, I wanted the women to answer. That's why I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
I'm not-
No, you're a woman. Oh. You will answer because now you are.
See,
Okay.
So there are a lot of things we need to change.
yes,
There are a lot of
we need to
orientation.
evolve and we need to refine.
So we need to rewrite
Because
the.
we may not
the holy
necessarily
books.
change entirely. What I'm saying is that the process of religion is decades older than everybody.
Exactly.
The process of tradition is decades old.
Okay.
Exactly.
These are acculturations that have taken, centuries after century. People have been born into it. But that doesn't make it right. There are widowhood practices that enslave, that inhibit, that, defy, all sense of humanity against a woman. It doesn't mean that it's right because it's tradition. So what we're saying is that what are those practices within religion, within tradition, that we need to review and we need to refine, we need to change. And that is the conversation we're having. Nobody is saying throw away the religion. We're saying religion is good, but does it limit, does it, create barriers? Does it make women redundant? Does it reduce the humanity of somebody who is first a human being before a gender? And I think that's the conversation we're having. We're not entirely saying that, because, women are not allowed to, break kola, that means that they can't be in the meeting. We're saying, first of all, let's get women to the meeting first. Let's start from those processes and gently begin those conversations. But to tell me that we inherited this culture as Africans, so women should be kept in their place. They know their place. They should be character. I think that is just simply bullshit.
It is bullshit. I go with you. But Aisha, as a Muslim, yeah, how do you feel?
Before you ask Aisha.
Excuse me.
Okay.
How do you feel as a woman, you being restricted to do all of these things in a gathering that you belong? How do you feel?
Like Adora has said already, these things have gone centuries ago. You don't just wake up and decide to make changes. And even if you actually crave for these changes, they will not be implemented immediately. It takes time. It takes processes. I cannot tell you why a woman should start or should not be allowed to or should be allowed to lead the prayer, because we were born into understanding that a woman cannot lead the prayer, the call for prayer. And it's something that has gone over time. So this change, in fact, I have no answer for that question.
You should do.
I have no answer.
I want Afe to answer that question.
It's down to sexual and reproductive.
I want Afe to answer that question.
Okay? It's down to sexual and reproductive, where you need to also have period literacy for young boys, because again, there's a lot of shaming when it comes to period, okay, when it comes to menstruation. And so you find a young girl in class, she obviously starts menstruating on maybe perhaps her second day in school. She's never encountered it. Probably she didn't have education. She realizes, she panics, she sits down there, she doesn't want to move.
Doesn't want to get up, yeah.
She doesn't want to get up. And everybody is like, what's going on and all of that. And people are laughing.
And they're laughing.
That again begins to work at her self-esteem. And then she begins to think that, this is diminutive and it is a curse on womanhood. Mm-hmm. And I think that those kind of literacies, even fathers should get involved, because it's a process. That's what we're saying. The process of refining this conversation is what we're saying. We're not saying throw away the baby with the bathwater. We're just saying, let's look at the bathwater, let's look at the baby. But, I don't get Nathaniel. I think...
Adora, can I
really
come
don't
in
understand.
here? Can I come in here? Nathaniel, I'm really surprised that you would actually say this, is because...
What are the things I said? Please, you people should just put the things I said on straight lines.
I think this is a good place to leave it on the Opinion Podcast today. Thank you very much, Nathaniel, for joining. Aisha, thank you very much. Adara, thank you. My name is Ugwi. I forget what I do. No, comrade.
Yeah, welcome.
What I do, the thinker. I'll see you next time. Join us again.
Well, you're for the women, right?
She's a woman's boy. Woman's boy.